Um, okay. Hello. Today I'm going to discuss my presentation on my three dashboard of economic forecasting and the monthly seasonals, the volume seasons. I also want to show firstly, I want to show my calculate state field, which is on this one. This is my calculate field, consists of the US 500 composite closing price multiplied by the volume multiplied by the inflation to have our inflation and volume adjusted closing price, which we can conclude that whenever you want to buy the composite from the US 500 stock base, we could look for buying in a discount when it crosses below here, the trend line, because when it crosses below here, we're seeing lower inflation and lower volume, because in the market, when you buy in the low volume, especially when we see here it crossing below above the trend line, this is indicative of high volume, which means accumulation of institution buying in here. You could reasonably expect to buy around the discount zone, like here, um, this one, this one, everything here below the trend line. So that's my calculated field. We also have this. It's pretty simple. Just multiplying a bunch of stuff. Three stuff: the closing price, volume, and inflation. Okay, let's get back to our dashboard economics. Let me explain a few things. So our economic forecasting, we can adjust the volume. Let me check here. Okay, so when we're seeing lower interest rate, like 0 to 1.6%, usually lower interest rate, we see an increase in inflation. This phenomenon happens, I think, because when the interest rate lowers, a lot of consumers now have the opportunity to borrow money to uh, expand their business, and which in turn increases the potential of new job opportunities, which will then increase the labor market and increase the amount of people who's getting monthly income, which also creates a higher consumer spending, which causes this higher inflation rate. This lowering unemployment rate is, just like previous one. This low decrease in interest unemployment rate is due to the low interest rate. Because of that specific reason, low interest rate, more labor job opportunities, meaning more people getting profits. That's why unemployment rate lowers. We can also see the same thing happens when on high interest rate, usually 3 to 5%. The standard interest rate is 2 to 3%. So when higher increase of interest rate tends to create lower inflation, because now it's more expensive to borrow money because you have to have higher uh, interest rate. This caused inflation to go lower because now people are more prone to saving instead of just spending. This decreased the inflation while also increased the unemployment because more people are now, I mean, the decrease in inflation creates a decrease in profit in businesses, which then decreases the amount of job opportunities, which means decreased amount of money income for people, which is why the unemployment rate is increasing here. And next we have our interest rate forecasting using the bond yields. The treasury bond yields is like a coupon where or a deposit. You can see that when the max interest rate increased, we see that the 5 year crosses. So what causes the interest rate to rise is because of the 5 year treasury bond yield crosses above the 10-year treasury bond yield. And when the 20-year maturity crosses below the trend line, this happens because when you have when the low maturity, like the 5 years, 3 months, 1 year maturity yields crosses above the higher maturity yield, like the 30 years, 20 years, 10 years. The 5 years tend to increase above it because of uh, people being scared of the long-term movement of the economy. Usually, when a recession is about to come, people are afraid to invest long-term, like on the 10 years and 20 years treasury bond yields. That's why when we see a higher short-term interest rate bond yields increasing, it means that a lot of people right now is just trying to save up money at this current uh, economy status. People are expecting a recession coming in the long term. That's why they invest their money in the short-term maturity treasury bond yields. And then for inflation forecasting, we see that an increase in unemployment rate causes lower inflation, and decrease in unemployment rate increases inflation. This is because the decrease in unemployment rate produces more money for the people and produces more spending, which increases inflation. Okay, next we have our seasonal. Um, we could see that our from our top six, we have July as our seasonal low. So when we try to see, let's see the seasonal low here on July. We could reasonably expect this is the seasonal low. When people buy here, you'll be in profit, buy here, profit, buy here, profit, etc. Okay. Also the filters. Yeah. This July is included, of course, because that's seasonal low tendency. Next, we have our SPX close inflation. This is our calculated field for discounted buy, as we explained previously. And then we have our volume. Volume is liquidity. Institution likes liquidity because like commercial banks, hedge funds, or the large fund, big pocket money managers who buys the SPX US 500 composite will need an equivalent power of sellers who want to sell for their buy orders. And so in here we see from our top four of just here. Yeah. From our top three, there's June. And June is obviously the also near the seasonal low. We can expect June to sell a lot of sell orders to our institution buy orders. So this will be our seasonal low liquidity on the SPX, which we can conclude if we have June. Okay, we have June here. So this is June and July. Let's find July. Okay. So in this blank spot is where institutions are accumulating buying position. as we could see, when institution buys, price tends to increase. Buy, increase, buy, increase, buy, increase. Okay. You can use it as much as you like. This is just the seasonal. It's like it's more like a roadmap more than it is like for forecasting because you need more data. Which data I'm talking about is this economic forecasting. You'll need the interest rate, inflation, and etc. Then combine that with the signal, and you have a more profound strategy for institution for tracking the institution big money movements. Okay, that's all. Thank you, and I'll be closing my presentation. Thank you.